Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.
Hello, and welcome to Eat, Drink, DFW, the podcast from the Dallas Morning News food team. Each week, we take a look at food and drink trends in North Texas, talk about restaurants in Dallas-Fort Worth, learn some new recipes, and sometimes even get tips from you, our listeners. I'm Anna Butler, the Dallas Morning News' food editor. This week, we're going to dive into some big developments in North Texas food. The Zodiac Room is staying open, and John Tizar is on the move. That's all coming up right after this.
Central Market is really into food. Like when we say cheese, it's in 12 languages into food. Butchers, bakers, and sushi roll makers into food. We're talking so obsessive about quality you can shop blindfolded into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then let us turn your shopping list into a treasure map. Get inspired, get adventurous, or just get a chef-made dinner when you've got more taste buds than time. No place makes every meal more amazing like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
For the latest food and restaurant news in Dallas-Fort Worth, visit dallasnews.com/food. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so email us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. Today, I'm joined by our food writers, Sarah Blaskovich and Imelda Garcia. Sarah, you had a bit of a busy Friday, reporting on two huge things. The Zodiac Room at the Neiman Marcus in downtown Dallas isn't closing quite yet, and John Tizar is moving on from Knife, kind of. So where do you want to start?
I want to start with the Zodiac Room. So the Zodiac is back. The Neiman Marcus restaurant will stay open through at least the end of the year. Now, we had expected the Zodiac, which opened in Dallas's flagship Neiman Marcus in 1953. We expected this restaurant to serve its last orange soufflés on March 31st, 2025. But a last-minute extension from parent company Saks Global saved the Zodiac from extinction, at least for now.
This seems like Christmas in March, Sarah.
Yes.
Did you see this coming?
I did not see this coming, and I probably should have, because when I interviewed Chef Kevin Garvin, who ran the restaurants for all of Neiman's for nearly 30 years, he said to me, gosh, I really hope the Zodiac stays open. And he had worked there until he retired in 2023. So he was with this company recently. And he didn't have, I don't think, inside intel. I just think his hunch I should have paid better attention to, because he said, gosh, I really hope the Zodiac doesn't go away. And Chef Kevin ended up being right. Last minute, they saved the Zodiac, at least for now. This is just a major moment for historical fine dining food and sort of fashionable fine dining in Dallas.
So for now, it's supposed to be open through the end of 2025 for one final holiday buffet for Julie.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yay! Which is extremely exciting, and we'll see if they have an extension after that. This whole thing went down in a really bizarre, peculiar way.
Yes.
I actually personally have an anecdote for what this is like. When Saks was like, hey, we're closing because of a landlord issue. And then the city was like, look, we can dissolve the landlord issue. And they're like, still closing. And it reminds me of when a guy doesn't tell a girl that he actually just wants to break up with her, but says he's too busy with work.
Yeah, that's such a good point, Anna. This all seemed too hard. I mean, unfortunately, we see restaurants close all the time. This one was so emotional, it seemed, for everybody involved, and the city got involved.
The city got involved. And I will say personally, too, when I came on this podcast for the first time, y'all asked me who my food influence was, and I said Helen Corbett. And so I know that you'd gathered a bunch of anecdotes over time when we thought this was closing March 31st, which I'm very glad that you have. But what were some of your favorites?
Yes, I ended up writing a historical look back on the Zodiac, and it is worth admitting that I wrote this story when I thought the restaurant was still closing. And so I was gathering up what it felt like an obituary for the Zodiac. And the fact that a restaurant has been open since the 50s is just really meaningful. And that its first most influential chef was a woman, Helen Corbett, who Anna just mentioned. Helen Corbett was so well known back then that Julia Child admired her. I think she was more famous than Julia Child at one time.
Whoa.
A couple other cool things. There was a fashion show during lunch every day. And so the models that worked for the department store would put on beautiful gowns and just strut through the restaurant every single day, which just like sounds like the movie version of an actual restaurant.
And it's actually what happens at the Dallas Morning News during lunchtime, too.
You wouldn't believe the newsroom fashions.
Something that I noticed is a lot of girlfriends going to the Zodiac recently. because they were thinking like they were closing.
I know. And you got to wonder whether this was some kind of marketing stunt. I bet they made tons of money in the month of March as girlfriends, like you're saying, Imelda, raced to get a reservation there. Here is my very favorite quote from the interviews I did. It comes from Chef Kevin Garvin. Quote, "Don't touch the orange souffle," he told his chefs. Quote, "Never run out of popovers. The strawberry butter has to be soft and the consommé has to be hot." It just sounds like words that he should put in his memoir.
The live, laugh, love of Neiman Marcus.
That's totally it. But we're so thrilled that the Zodiac lives on. And if anybody didn't get there, now you have time.
Okay, so surprisingly, we actually had even more big news about Chef John Tizar.
That's right. Dallas chef John Tizar has cut ties with the Dallas hotel restaurant he opened more than a decade ago, Knife. Now, did you notice the verb I used? He cut ties.
Was it supposed to be a pun or was that legally inclined?
It's both. I just had to.
I would make this a parallel to a sale leaseback agreement of what is occurring in the future, at least for a few months.
Yes. So what Anna is saying is Knife will not close right now. It'll close at the end of the summer. And Chef John Tizar is taking the Knife name with him. And he plans to reopen the restaurant in a different Dallas neighborhood.
Where's he opening it?
He hasn't signed the lease yet, but he says he has the idea of a place. So I can't say it out loud, although I do know. But the idea is Uptown Dallas. And he wants to open a Knife steakhouse as we know it now. He also wants to open a meat omakase. That's quote unquote meat omakase, which is a meat tasting menu called Pocket Knife.
Whoa.
So the pun continues. After Pocket Knife, which is this special tasting menu that he wants to open, he's going to open a bar and lounge later in the evening called Switchblade.
Oh, God.
I think that's so fun. So Butter Knife could be the name of his breakfast place.
Oh, love
Yeah,
it.
that's a good idea.
Or his bakery.
But Sarah, sometimes we reference him as the most hated chef in Dallas. And I want to know all the chisme. Why is that?
He has been called the most hated chef by another publication. And for years, I think he was a loud and proud, difficult chef. He had big opinions. He came from somewhere outside of Texas and kind of brought this big, boisterous attitude with him. And one of the reasons why he was thought to be hated is because he was on a lot of food television shows. He had several rounds on Top Chef, and he kind of was the villain in at least one of them. Now, those of us who have interviewed Chef John Tizar by phone over the years, and I have for probably a decade, there were times when it was a little bit of a dicey conversation to call him and ask him questions. These days, I find Chef John Tizar easy to talk to, not rude, although he used to be somebody who might say some bad words to a reporter who asked questions he didn't want to answer.
Don't we all? So did you see this coming?
I did see this one coming. Yes, I am a moderate regular at Knife. We have some friends who live nearby, and the restaurant didn't seem to be the same as it always had. I did find Knife to be a really great steakhouse. It flew under the radar a little bit when it came to those like celebrity hotspots in town, like a Nick and Sam's and a Town Hearth. But I found Knife to be a really good steakhouse. I also loved that John Tizar had house-made pasta dishes on the menu. So anybody going to Knife who didn't want a steak could find actually a really wonderful Italian meal as well. So I was a fan of this place, and it seemed like it was just waiting for change. And Chef John Tizar said last year, when he didn't get any Michelin attention for Knife, that he wanted to reinvent the restaurant. I think he wanted a new design. Well, it seems all of that has fallen apart. And instead, the hotel restaurant will become something else. And after the summer, Chef John Tizar will take the Knife name and move.
Would it be fair to say that what he's going to be opening is a Knife block?
She's here all week, folks.
You can read about all of these things by visiting dallasnews.com/food. Okay, Imelda, I do have a huge brag for you. You just launched your DFW Sabores series on Telemundo.
Yes, please.
So you're going to essentially have a Telemundo feature once a week. You'll pop on once a month to introduce all of these great regions that you're talking about. But can you remind all of us of what this project is?
Yeah, on the Dallas Morning News, we are on a mission, and that is finding the best authentic Mexican food in North Texas. So since last year, we've been exploring all these regions, and so far we have explored Monterrey, Baja, Mexico City, and Yucatan. And right now we are looking for places of the northern part of the country. So recently I went to a food truck in Garland. They sell food from Torreon. Torreon is a city that is like 800 miles south of Dallas. And a lot of people from Torreon live here in North Texas. So they have these lunches. They are like big tortas with a roll that is called pan francés. It's like French bread. And they also have flour gorditas. Every place that we are visiting have their own special dish. And remember, we are not only visiting restaurants, we are going to food trucks, even to homes. Wherever this food is, we are going there. And let me tell you a very, very sweet story that somebody just told me. So this is a mom that had a daughter at the hospital, right? And when the daughter came out to recover, she didn't want to eat. They were like trying all kinds of things to make her eat, you know? And they found our story about tacos de trompo. These are from Monterrey. So they decided to give a try to one place that we list in our story. And they went there and the daughter loved the tacos and the salsa. And since then, she's eating again.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, we are saving the world one taco at a time.
Imelda, I think that is so awesome. And also, I want to go back to the fact that you're a television star now.
I know.
Telemundo, one time a week. You do bring the soap opera vibe to this podcast. And so now you can take it to TV.
I was going to say, I feel like your dream would have been a telenovela, but this will work.
Yeah, this will work. Yeah.
The journalist in you just has too many facts to share instead of juicy tidbits.
Correct. And Anna, you have a friend that is like following all these stories and trying the places.
I do. My friend Blanca is going through all of your stories and trying to hit every single place that you talk about.
Amazing.
You can find a restaurant guide to all the places Imelda has discovered by visiting dallasnews.com/sabores. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's time to talk about TV and how it's been influencing how we eat and drink lately.
Central Market is really into food, like fish flown in so fresh it still has jet lag into food. Our sourdough starter has been around since grunge was a thing into food. We're talking more prime cuts than a greatest hits album into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then we're the HQ for you. Whether you're a make every recipe in the cookbook foodie or a my favorite recipe is reheat type who just digs the delectable, no place makes every day more delicious like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
Welcome back. In just a minute, we're going to talk about how TV is impacting the way we eat. But first, a quick reminder that giving our podcast a good review helps other people find it. So if you like it, please say so. And if you don't, you can skip that part.
5 stars.
Sarah, okay, you are not alone in the fact that you're watching White Lotus right now.
Yes, I am. And not only am I watching it, but when I open my phone, my Instagram feed is all White Lotus. So the show is seeping into every part of my day. It's sort of following me. So Julie, I have to start by saying that since the first episode of White Lotus, Parker Posey's character reminds me of you. Now,
shut up.
You're not going to hate it. Stick with me. If everybody can think of Parker Posey's character's hair, Julie has a better version of that haircut. You have such adorable hair, so you're like the better version of her. Now, the thing that everybody's talking about online is the way that Parker Posey says all these words because they're from a wealthy North Carolina family. And my friend Julie is from North Carolina. And so I like when she says Buddhism and
tsunami.
Yes, I was just going to ask you to say it, Julie. I mean, there are so many moments where I'm like, why can't you just be more like Julie? Because then she says something insane and I'm like, oh, I don't like this character anymore. But Julie, there's like 5% of you that's inside of her. And the words remind me of you.
That is so funny because she's kind of like my sister.
Yeah, I love to hear that. I feel like you know someone like her, don't you?
I know so many people like her because I've got so many friends, wealthy friends in North Carolina, and they'll post their family photos. And I've been seeing a lot of pictures lately and I'm like, you need to double check your son's relationship.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler for anybody who doesn't know, but if you've been watching, oh my gosh. This show, though it has nothing to do with food and drink, is in Thailand and there's so much cool stuff there to eat and drink. Has it influenced the way that you've been drinking or eating, Julie?
100%. Like every single episode, they will have, at least one person will have a glass of rosé or a white wine. And it's always, you could tell it's so hot in Thailand where they are. It's just blistering. So the glass is always very foggy. There's condensation on it.
Yes.
And it makes me so thirsty for a cold glass of wine. I actually have a bottle of rosé in my fridge right now that's about 3/4 of the way empty. And fruit. I don't eat fruit, and now I am dying for pineapple.
Okay, so much fruit at breakfast time at the White Lotus Resort, and especially the three women who are allegedly best friends but seem to be coming unraveled quickly.
Yeah.
They will sit around and love to hate to love one another. And Lori will pick at that fruit. And there was one episode where she must have had a pile of pineapple and strawberries. And with every hateful bite, she shoved that fork into her mouth and chomp, chomp, chomp on the fruit. And then she'd go back for it as one of her backstabbing friends said something else that was mean. It didn't make me want to eat fruit. It made me wonder how much fruit has that actress eaten in order to get the scene finished?
Seriously, there has to be like a vat of fruit sitting in front of her. And you notice they never show the actual plate.
Yeah.
So there probably is just this monster pile of fruit. And have they never heard of an omelet? There are other things to eat for breakfast.
Yes. Also, the way all these people look, by the pool, you're also like, do we really drink margaritas all day?
Yeah,
Because if
no.
I drink margaritas all day, could I look like Jacqueline looks in that bathing suit?
No.
I mean,
I'd have to say thank you, though, for the Parker Posey reference. And I'm going to go with Parker Posey as opposed to Victoria. Because
Okay, yeah.
I adore her.
me too.
And I would like to see myself in her. But if I was loaded and just taking piles of lorazepam, then I might be her. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Well, I like the version of Julie we have instead.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that.
All right. It is clear that watching television shows can influence our eating and drinking, whether they mean for it to or not.
Yes, I remember me watching a lot of Mad Men, and all that whiskey,
Yeah.
and all of those cigars. I tried to be like them, but no, I had to swap the whiskey for apple juice because it was a lot of whiskey
The idea that you could just drink all day long at work is madness.
and a dream.
Fever dream for sure.
Also, you know what? Do you remember Scandal?
Yes.
When Olivia Pope is like always looking for these Dubélé bottles. Of course, I look for them and they don't exist.
Oh, is that not real?
No, it's not real.
That would have been a good marketing moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not always the best trendy TV watcher, but I've been watching a lot of March Madness. I love men's college basketball, and it's just really good eating TV.
What is great eating TV? What do you mean?
It's anything where you can veg out, snack, sip for a long extended period of time, and you don't really have to listen because the shows y'all are talking about, you do kind of have to pay attention. Like loud snacks are actually a problem during stuff like that, but I do have some favorite places where I engage in March Madness watching. Most of them are competitive to get into. That's the theme throughout this.
Love it.
Competition. Local public eatery opened last year. I absolutely love watching games there, and you can actually make reservations. If you want to sit inside, it's a lot easier than the beautiful porch with the beautiful weather we've had.
And this is the one on Henderson Avenue.
It's on Henderson Avenue across the street, Myers Garden. No one cares how you say it. Greenpoint on Knox has one TV, but you can get in front of that TV, and man, it's a great place to watch basketball.
And speaking of white wine, like we were talking about earlier, they have a great white wine list.
Fantastic white wine list, fantastic cocktails, very fresh food. If you need something family friendly, I like Palmer's because the kids can like kind of run wild inside, but you still get that indoor outdoor feel with the garage doors. So, just some thoughts there.
I love it. It sounds like we're all watching a lot of TV right now.
So much TV, but Sarah, you had a dinner idea to share.
Yes, I just want to end by sharing a recipe that I adored so much, and it took less than 30 minutes to put together for my family. We were looking for a green vegetable-like side to go with redfish. It was a Friday during Lent, and so we wanted it to be healthy, but also I didn't want to spend a lot of time, and I didn't want, again, to have asparagus on the grill or zucchini on the grill. We wanted something a little bit more. And I found an Instagram recipe from Foodie from VT. And it's warm broccoli salad with roasted chickpeas with a Caesar dressing made from tahini. So you roast some broccoli, you toss in some shaved Brussels, and you put the chickpeas in the oven. While you're doing that, you whip up some tahini, lemon juice, a little bit of, whatever you got, garlic clove anchovy paste, olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then you just mix the warm broccoli and Brussels together with that Caesar-like dressing, and you finish it with shaved Parmesan. I made that while my husband was out on the grill doing redfish with a little bit of garlic butter on top. And oh my gosh, the two of those things together, I loved it. And I suggest this warm broccoli Caesar to anybody looking for an easy and delicious side.
I love the fact that it's a warm salad.
Yeah, right? I mean, we're big fans of a cold Caesar salad too. And this one was just a little twist on it. I'll also say that one of my two kids liked it, which like a 50% rating, not bad.
And they're both under 10, which is big.
Yeah. We then ate it cold the next day because there was a little bit left over. Also good cold.
You had already influenced me on this. You told me about this. And then I went to Trader Joe's and they don't have the Brussels sprout component, but they have a hot or warm broccoli Caesar salad.
Wait, really?
Kit. So you can buy a kit of this if you're, just strapped for time. It took 25 minutes-ish in the oven all in with all the things they asked you to do, but it was absolutely delicious too. I did do that instead of going to a bar to watch March Madness.
Just once.
It just mainly made sense because it was right after the Ides of March and we were both like really thinking about that.
Oh, we had Caesar on the brain. That's a bit of an educational joke for anybody paying attention.
I was a Latin minor, if that comes through at all.
If you're making great things that are Caesar adjacent, I actually really want to know. I will probably put a Caesar-like dressing on almost any vegetable. Email us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com.
And that's all the time we have for today. And if you've missed an episode of the Eat Drink DFW podcast, we invite you to catch up. Make sure you're following Eat Drink DFW wherever you find podcasts. Special thanks to our producer, Julie Fisk. For the news, I'm Anna Butler. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.